Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with my collaboration date for the collaboration that's being put on by Rach Bella Crafts featuring special guest designer Angela Kerr. I love both of these ladies to bits. They are incredible creators, digital creators, and so they put together this collaboration to join our community, our junk journal community, our crafting community around these beautiful, beautiful digitals. Now, unfortunately, I did not print out all of the kits in full size because the project I'm working on is miniature. So you can definitely hop over to the Etsy shops or the websites for each of these ladies. They will all be linked below in the description box in the link tree, and you can check out what they all look like, but they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm pretty picky about what kits I choose to work with, and so these just really struck me. Yellow is my favorite color, and so it really just caught my attention right out of the gate. So the collaboration, the hashtags, let me back up. The hashtag is Journal Jigsaw. So if you're creating around this collaboration, you can just use hashtag Journal Jigsaw, and people will be able to see what you've created along this collaboration. So the collaboration is running from March the 15th to April the 15th, and I'm hoping that there was an updated, I was out of town, so I'm not sure if there was an updated schedule for this last segment, because this actually ends on the 13th. I have not been on social media, so there might have been an update to include the 14th and 15th, so I will check on that, but I'll make a note in the description box. So the idea of the collaboration as well was, obviously, typically with a collaboration, the person putting it on will choose a prompt. So we've got a list of prompts that you can see here: vibrant vellum, secret garden pockets, serene snippets, tranquil tucks, quaint altered paper clips. We've got things in miniature. Mine is actually where did it go? Garden in miniature. We've got fabric pockets and rustic pins, lovely labels and quotes. That was, I've watched, I just got back from being out of town, and I've been at my crafting table working on my project before I turned the camera on, and I caught up on a lot of the videos. You guys, it's just out of this world. If you just want a place to just binge watch and get a bunch of great ideas from some beautiful creators, head on over and check them out. There are prizes at the end of the collaboration. Typically, Rachel will wait until about a week or just shy of a week after the collaboration closes for people to catch up watching the videos and making comments. So you'll definitely want to be checking back with her channel around any updates on that. But typically that's how it's worked. I've done collaborations with her before. So yeah. So mine is Garden in Miniature. So we are going to work on making a cover for this lap book. So I'll show you the lap book here in a second, but the cover is going to be decorated here, and we're going to make it with a wraparound closure, because obviously this baby is chunky. So I'm going to move the camera closer just so that you guys can see a little bit better, and so I am more in camera. There we go. So this journal measures, the actual construction is 1 3/4 inches by 2 3/8, I believe. Each of the sides, the smaller spines, are 1/2 inch-ish, and then the large spine is 1 and it looks like 1 1/8 inch or so. And then, so it closes like this, so it's like a box, which I just love, but I made it in miniature. Isn't it so adorable? So this is what I've been working on this morning. Before my trip, I had my cover done and all of my pieces cut and my signature pages chosen. I just needed to ink them up and stuff the pockets and do all that stuff, which I'll show you the inside here in a second. So typically when I do a lap book, I sew the signatures into this spine, but I decided to go ahead and change it up a little bit, and so they're sewn in the narrower spines in each section. So it opens up like this, and we've got beautiful images here on these front covers, and then the signatures, because they're so small, they tend to, everything pops up and it's hard to hold down. So I put a little closure on here using Velcro, and so it's Velcroed on the what would be the front cover of each signature, and then it's glued on the back with some grungy paper that I've made in the past. This one's wider into it. That's okay. So, and then I've created pockets with some some little bits in the pockets. Just gorgeous. I don't remember. I'm hoping that I noted it and I can put it down in the description box. What percentage I changed these to in order to make them so teeny tiny. I think it was like 27% or something of the 97% original size. So super cute, super little. We've got this beautiful little spine decoration on the center here. Just a little bit of coffee dyed lace. I made some grungy accents by just putting some lace here and there. I couldn't really do eyelets and or seam binding because everything's so little. So that was a challenge. So let me open up this side of the signature, this one. And so we've got some vellum pages. This is a miniature. You can't see quite all of it. Let me see if I can pull that off just a little bit. This is a paper clip. It's so little. Did I have it on more than one page? Is that the problem? I do. That's why I'm having trouble. Boom. Okay, this is on more than one page, isn't it? There we go. So I'll put that paper clip on in a second. So, so this is actually Velcroed right here. So it's got a little tiny little bit of something in there. And this is a miniature print of one of my vintage book pages that I scanned in my stash. It's called The Little Old Garden. And I thought that was perfect for this collaboration. And so if we keep going, we've got pages from the kit. I just printed, I'm loving the background paper from Ruby and Pearl from her Beautiful Birds kit. And so that's what I've been using for my backing on my pages. And so I like to use vellum in my journal. So we've got another vellum page here. This is another vintage music paper from my stash that I had done some mixed media work on. And so this is just a scanned copy of that. And then another page from the kit. We've got a little belly band with a journal card, a little piece of parchment because I was working in this and didn't want anything to stick. So let me take that out because that's nice and dry. I'm going to put some beads on the bottom of these, but I'll be doing that off camera. It's too fiddly for work for me on the camera. So I used one of the envelopes here to create a flip out on the page. It's little, it's hard to grab. So we've got a tag inside, and then we've got some other bits in here. Use the tiny, tiny little fussy cuts here to decorate in various places. I used one of the postcards to create a pocket there. And so then that closes back up there. And then we've got the other side of that vellum. And one of the dotted pages. I wanted to leave some writing space in this journal, so we do have a lot of pages that are just blank. Oh, we're stuck together. Oh no. Okay, we got to rectify that. Oh boy, that was risky. I'll have to ink that up because we've got a little bit of glue there that's stuck, so we'll fix that up. The other side of that vintage, it's like a music book cover inside, like an inside page, another piece of vellum, and then more writing space. So that is the first signature. And then I just embellished the little closure with a little bit of fussy cut too. And then I'll put that on later. And then this one opens in similar fashion. We've got a little pocket here. I had some problem with this closure, so we've got a little bit of white paper that tore. But this is just for me. This is just a sample, so I'm going to hold on to it. I might make another one for a giveaway, but we'll see. I'm making a full journal using these kits for somebody that's already asked to purchase it. So, so again, similar choices in papers. I've got the vintage book, our music paper, vellum, some of the dotted paper. That's from Angela Kerr's side. This one's also from Angela Kerr, and I just took one of the other little elements and cut it down so that it would fit in the center of that little assemblage there. Another of the digitals. So you're getting a picture of these, even though they're super small, of what's in the kit. There we go. This is another of my vintage mixed media papers that I did, and I just put a little bit of a cluster here. It's not a tuck or anything, it's just decorative in nature. And then over here we've got, I used 2 tags to make a staggered, actually I think this is supposed to go like that, a staggered kind of tag tuck. I thought that was pretty cute. I might have to do that in real size in my real life. We've got another one of the envelopes. I'm not going to take that off. And we've got just a journal card that's sticking in there. And then we've got the other side of the that mixed media book paper, and then a little paper clip. And more vellum, a lot of writing space in this tiny little thing. We've got a little tuck that I made a side. I just glued it on 3 sides. So we've got a little tuck here, and little two little pieces in there. Another belly band with a journal card, and then a pocket. This is from the kit. Look at how tiny that is. I love it. And these things, I mean, they're just, who can, you know, refuse, or, you know, whatever, miniatures, like, so cool. Forgive my messy fingers up close there. I've been busy this morning. And then we've got, I used one of the file folders as a side tuck. So it's actually glued on 2 sides to make a pocket, but then it's only glued on two sides here to make a tuck. So this is tucked behind and this is tucked in. So that's kind of a variation. We've got a little bit of a tuck there, a corner tuck, and some ephemera. So what we're going to do though today is we're going to make a closure for this that is going to be able to be removable. Not a closure, I'm sorry, a topper. So, oh, the light came back. It's a little dark in here for a moment. So I'm feeling like I wish I could hold this somehow closed so that we could work. But we know that it's going to go on this one, so I think I'll just open that up like that. Would have been easier to not do this while it's all stuffed full already. But I wanted to show you the journal. So I already prepared this piece of corrugated cardboard. So this is going to be the base for our cover piece. And so I'm going to get out some yellow paint and some vintage photo, not vintage photo, I'm so sorry, my raw umber fluid acrylic. I forgot to get that out, so I'm going to grab it really quick. Again, my apologies. I do miss stuff. And I'm getting out some fluid matte medium because I'm going to do a glaze, and then I'm going to get some yellow paint as well, something kind of bright and cheery. If I can find it buried in this drawer. Where did you go? There it is. We'll probably grunge this down. It's a little bit bright for a grungy style project here. I'm going to reach again for a paintbrush. I thought I was all ready, but I forgot about the corrugated cardboard piece. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a raw umber glaze on here. If you've watched my channel before, you've seen this. And so what I do is I take a little bit of paint. You can use any color paint, but for my grungy style, which is why I chose the grungy side, I use raw umber fluid acrylic, but you can use any acrylic paint you want. You can use a craft acrylic, it does not matter. So we might even do that with the yellow and see what happens and do a glaze with the yellow. But basically what a glaze allows you to do is to cover something and then wipe up parts of it that you want to have be more pronounced or more seen. So you just mix 1 part paint to 2 parts of fluid matte medium. I use Liquitex. So I'm just going to put I need so little of this, I mean, because we're working in miniature, right? So I'm going to put a tiny bit right there. That's literally enough, not even a dime size. And I'm going to do double that here with the matte medium. So 1, 2, okay? And I'm going to mix it with my brush, okay? We're going to get this this kind of a glaze that allows you, again, the matte medium extends the wet time of your acrylic paint, which is why I think it works. I'm not exactly sure of the science. I've been doing this in mixed media for years, so I do it a lot in mixed media canvases and other things, mixed media art journaling and such. So if you've watched my channel, you know what I'm talking about already. So I'm just moving this. Oh, I hope I just did it. I did. I just got paint on the front of that. Oh, let me wipe that off. Okay. Well, a little bit of extra grunge. Let me move that out of the way so that doesn't happen again. Well, we just add a little bit of grunge to Grandpa there. That's all right. So I'm coating this completely with the golden fluid acrylic glaze, and I'm going to grab a baby wipe. And we're going to just kind of dab it off, okay? So we get this grunge down into the holes in the corrugated cardboard. See that? So we're going to do another coat because I want a little bit more down in there where we don't wipe it, we don't get it out with the baby wipe. So let me do that again. I'm going to catch the edges too because that's otherwise it's going to kind of probably look white because of the gesso that I prepped that with. If I didn't put gesso, then the cardboard will just absorb all that paint and you'll be using a ton of it instead of just a little bit that is actually needed. So I'm going to hit this with the heat tool and I'll be right back. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do, let me just show you a final look of that. That's what it looks like dry and with all that raw umber dark color down in the holes of the corrugated cardboard. And it's not too thick. The profile is pretty reasonable. So yeah, I love it. So I'm going to add, I don't want to waste this glaze and this paint, so I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow to it and see what we get and see if I can do a little bit of a yellow glaze, but the yellow is a little bit too bright all on its own. So let's see if we can do something there. So let me just wipe some of this on just to get a little bit of yellow accent. Probably be wiping some of that off because I want to see more brown than yellow. So just playing here. I'm just going to go ahead and dab that up. Yeah, that's nice. That's perfect. I am going to wipe a little bit more of it off because I don't want it to be too bright. So there you've got that yellow added as well. Okay. Now, a lot of that's not going to show. So unfortunately, I'm going to be wasting this because that's just the way it goes. Sometimes it's not much, just a bit there. So while this is drying, so I don't have to stop again, I'm going to go ahead and just let that dry on its own. And we're going to work on the kind of a, I guess you consider it a cluster because it's so small, it's going to really be a cluster. But our ribbon, let me think about this because I think I want my ribbon to come, the tie is going to come underneath this. So I'm just making that a mental note kind of by saying that out loud. So I've got a bunch of papers over here. And again, everything is shrunk down and I'm not sure what I'm going to use because it's been a while since I created this, but I'm thinking I want to use her. I really, really love that image, but I don't want her to be super neat and even. I want her to be kind of, I want her to be really rustic. So I'm going to kind of go like that and just get an estimate. So I'm going to cut her down to about here, and then we're going to grunge up those edges by using our Tim Holtz Distress tool. I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to take those wheels off that wagon, unfortunately. I'm going to go a little bit narrower on this side because this is just one of the layers of the cover assemblage. So I've got my distress tool here, so I'm going to just distress that. Sorry, I'm not used to working up so close with my camera, so I'm going to lean forward and hope I don't get out of frame too terribly much. I'm just doing a little bit of distressing here, and then you'll be able to see what that looks like when I ink it, which I'm going to do right now. Come on, we want to see you. We want to see the distress. We want to see distress. Yes, there we go. And what you can also do is, and I should have thought about this before I cleaned that paint up, so I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. You could also come around with a little bit of this paint like this. This is just off the cap. Oh, that was a lot. But we're going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. Okay. And we've got, now we've got a little bit, even some more vintagey, grungy kind of flavor going on here, like that. Okay, so we got a little bit more than I wanted, but I do need to zap that though because I can't really work with it while it's wet. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and move this camera down just a little bit closer because this is so stinking small. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to let that sit a moment. So now what we need is we need a base that's a little bit bigger. This is just going to be kind of the accent part of it, kind of the top portion. So let me see what I want to use for the base. I think this would be really cool and kind of neutral-ish. That's probably just about the right size. So let me trim that down as well. So I'm just going to kind of hope that I got moderately in the right place. And it's a little bit too wide, so I'm going to take a little bit more off. Okay, and we're going to grunge this up as well with our distress tool. Thinking about doing a miniature lap book project on the channel from start to finish. I think that would be fun. It's hard. Like you'd think it'd be easier to make it in miniature. It's really not. Just because everything's smaller does not mean it's easier. It's not. It's not at all. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink that up. Oh, that looks great. Yes. Okay, so that's a layer. I'm going to do this the back and the edges too, in case any of that white core pops out. We've got that covered. Oh, beautiful. I'm going to really go heavy on that because I want that to be really, really, like this looks like, it almost looks like old paper. Look, we got a little fold there. Let's just do that again. Let's make a little bit of a line there. Look at that. It's perfect. Okay. So we're not putting it on here yet. I'm just kind of looking at my edges and my sides. So that's our bottom layer. And so I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of this with the yellow flowers and the, or maybe the birds. I'm not sure. I didn't really pull much out over here. I do have some lace that we do want to add. So let's see. It's almost about that's the right height. So that's, oh, sorry, that's about the right height that I wanted. So I'm gonna do a rough tear on this because I don't want it to be even or straight at all. And I'm gonna distress that with the tool as well. And then ink that up. That's a beautiful grunge. Inking it all the way around. And so that's gonna go on here as well. So I feel like that should not be straight. So let's distress that other edge too. It's hard to hold on to. It's so small. So tiny. Oh, much better. Yes. Grungy, grungy, grungy. Okay, beautiful. And see, that looks like it's not straight, so it's much more appealing. So then I also have a little bit of vellum, so I thought we would use some of this. I'm not sure what this paper is. It's not from the kit. It must just be from my scrap bin. So pardon me for going off the beaten path and using something that's not part of the collaboration. So I like my vellum. I'm thinking I want a little bit of vellum on the bottom layer as well. So I'm just gonna ink that up. So this is kind of my layering technique when I do clusters or anything like that. I like layers of vellum. Doesn't add much to it in terms of bulk, but it does add a lot of interest. Now actually we could put a little bit of script or something under that, so I'm going to reach in my scrap bin and see if I can find a vintage book page piece, just a snippet. So give me a moment. Actually, I have this right here, and this is just a digital scrap. So I think I'm going to use this to put underneath that piece of vellum just to give a little bit of interest. Okay, just tearing off some of it because it's a little bit big. Oh yeah, and you'll see what I mean here in just a second. So I'm going to tear this down so that it's just slightly smaller than that current base. The base is always changing, it seems, so I'm gonna grunge this up as well with my tool. And there we go, and our inking will take away that white core that's showing. Beautimus. Love it. Okay, boom. Okay, so what's going to happen here is this is going to go on first, right there. So let's go ahead and put that on. Actually, yeah, we're going to put that on first. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac just in case I need to move it at all. Just allows me a little bit more flexibility. And I'm just going to set that. I want a little bit of that edge to show through on the side. I want it to look layered. So hope you can see what I mean. Sorry, focus. Maybe it doesn't like me to be that close. I don't know. And then here's our vellum. So if you put the vellum on top, you get this additional layer like that. I didn't ink that edge. Okay, so we're going to put this down. A lot of the vellum is not going to show, so don't worry about getting glue on it. It's okay. So I'm just going to use my white glue here. It's really thin coat. It does cause it to curl just a smidge, but not too terribly bad. So again, I'm doing this deliberately so that I can see the layers, and I'll show you this right here. So we can see the layers here that we've got our base, we've got our first layer and our second layer, rather. Okay, and then we're going to start thinking about this and where this is going to go in. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. But we still have this piece. So do we want to have this go this way? We're going to lose the, I don't really know if we need that, to be honest with you, because this is looking pretty darn cool like it is, but I like that extra layer, and that's not going to show anyway, so I think I will come over this edge a little bit. Maybe I'll turn it this way. Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to put a little bit of lace down as a kind of a dividing layer. This is just some lace that I coffee dyed. I'm loving it because I can do that. I can rip it, I can distress it, and it doesn't always tear in all directions very well, but we can get it kind of pulled apart and kind of wholly. Okay, like so. Okay, so now I'm going to put that down so that it's all peeking out. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Okay, distress that a little bit since I made a straight edge. Okay, we're going to put that layer down, and it's going to pretty much cover everything that you see, but I'll hold it up so you can see the benefit of these layers, because some people don't, it doesn't make sense to them. Like, why would you cover up the layers that you just did? But there is a reason. Okay, so look at this. Okay, if you look close, you can see all the layers. Okay, we have our base, sorry. We have our next layer, and we have our next layer. So it's really, really cool. I'm going to leave that all frilly at the top. So that's cool. Okay, so now we're going to put this over here, facing outward. So let me just, some of this is going to show, so I'm going to ink that edge a little bit better because it might peek out like that. Okay, and I'm not gonna put it all the way to the end there because I don't want that to ooze out. Okay, we're gonna place that right there, and it's hanging over just a smidge. Okay, just a smidge. Boom. Okay, now I feel like my girl might be a little bit wide, and so you guys, I'm gonna cut that paint off, or a little bit of it anyway. Okay, and I'm going to distress it a little bit more. Hopefully I don't create a problem here, but it's okay. But I love what happened here with this paint. We got some paint up here by accident, but I think it's really actually quite beautiful. Okay, Oh my goodness, that's so cool. Okay, we're not going to see any of those flowers, which is unfortunate, but that happens in layering. But I feel like I want one more layer of the vellum. I wish I had printed more on some of this paper. That would have been really cool. But let's just get another layer of vellum here. Just kind of guessing where I want that to end and begin. Okay, I think about there is good. I love inking up vellum. It's so delicious. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to put that down and we're going to have another layer yet again. White glue, not Fabri-Tac. I would not advise Fabri-Tac with vellum. Awesome. So now we're creating yet another layer, which again I'll show you. Oh, go away, white glue, go away. Oh no, it's going to be mostly covered up. See, I can see my glue lines. Okay, so I'm going to try to press those out really quick with my paper towel, just hoping that I can kind of rub them out, make them push into the paper underneath. That's not too bad. A lot of that's not going to show. It's going to be covered by our girl. So there we've got another layer, and especially you can see it down here at this corner. So come on, focus. Sorry guys. Okay, and now we need one more piece of the lace. Just a bit, okay? Nothing too grand. Really, really thready. That's very thready. That's not what I intended, but we're going to use it because that's what we're doing. We're doing the grunge. Oh, I love that actually. Oh, I love it when that happens. Okay, we're going to put that right here, kind of on that edge for another layer of beauty. Oh, and I love that thready bit. Oh, I'll show this to you in a second. Let me press that down. Oh my goodness, this is perfect. Look at that. Happy accidents. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. So I think we're ready to glue her on. Here goes nothing or everything. Okay, I'm going to use plenty of Fabri-Tac because we're putting on layers, and so we don't have a lot of like texture to worry about, but like so. We're going to put her right there. Oh my word. Oh my word. Let me just press her down. Look at that. That is our little mini collage for our journal topper. I'm going to try to find a word and print it super small that I can put on the cover, but I don't have that prepared right now. So I'm not liking this being so kind of grungy yellow. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the raw umber paint, and I'm just going to use my finger and kind of go around the edges and bring back some of the deeper dark tones that we had originally. So yeah, like that, which means I'll have to dry one more time, but I will be right back. Okay, this is dry and ready to attach our collage bit, and then we're going to get some, I think I'm probably going to use this seam binding. This is coffee dyed seam binding from my stash. So we're going to go ahead and get this on here as well. Oh, that is so lovely. Or do we want it to go under that? Let me think about this a second. Nope, we want it to go underneath this. So we'll glue the seam binding to the back of that. So let me go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to be very generous with this glue as well because we're going on to into the corrugated cardboard, and I want this glue to go down in those holes and really adhere well. So I'm going to kind of move her down just a bit because I really like this dark part at the top. So, and I'm using Fabri-Tac so I can adjust it, which is really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to use my paper towel and give her a good press, like so. This is so lovely. If I do say so myself. It's okay to like your own work, you guys. We were created to be creative, and creativity comes in many forms. Art, I mean, music is artistic, teaching is artistic, drawing obviously is artistic. There's so many things that we don't classify as artistic that are artistic. So just my little 2 cents worth of wisdom around that topic. So I'm going to get the seam binding, and I need to kind of evaluate first what we're doing here. So I'm going to close this up, okay, and I'm going to unravel some of this here. I'm just going to cut some off. I'm just going to cut it off. That's way more than I need, but I don't waste it. So again, I wish there was a way that I could hold this so that I could work with it. It just pops right back open. So so let's go ahead and attach it, as I mentioned before, to the back of this. So I'm just going to be generous. I'm going to leave myself lots of room here for to decide how much I actually need. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to go right across the middle of the back of this, okay, like that. Whoops. 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 Okay. Actually, is this more grungy down here? I almost feel like this is more grungy. Maybe not. Maybe not. We're just going to use wherever I land, okay? Okay, so I'm going to push that down. I'm going to use my paper towel again to kind of give that a chance to set. Oops, not sticking very well. Fabri-Tac takes a little bit of time to adhere, and especially because we're working on this cardboard, it can be tricky. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do, just to be safe? I'm going to go ahead and reach in my drawer and grab a piece of tape, because it's not going to show, right? So I'm just going to get a piece of artist tape, because that's what I have here. And I'm going to put it over that. I want it to go mostly the wide way. You know what I mean. The wide way. Maybe. It's going to have to go this way. I can't measure apparently. Okay, we're just going to push that down. That's going to help that to stay in place so we can continue working. Okay. And oh, we got some glue seepage there. Make sure you wipe your table off so you don't inadvertently stick something down and then ruin it like I have done in the past. So I'm just going to wipe that up. Make sure it's nice and clean. Okay. So that does not look to be in the middle. What the what? Okay, let's just move her down a little bit then. Can we? It's not a problem. It's a grungy project, right? There we go. Okay. So this will also be glued on, just so you know. Well, no, we were going to have it be removable, weren't we? If we're going to have it be removable, then I want to put something on the back of this. So let's do that together. Might be a little bit tricky because of the way our edges are, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and line that up like that, and I'm gonna make a pencil mark. So much changing my mind, goodness gracious. I think I was a woman or something. Come on. My pencil seems to be out of lead. Go figure. Let me see if I can just find something else. Okay, I'm just going to cut that by hand. I just don't want it to look all weird on the back. Not like it really matters. But we'll put that on there. Need to take a little bit off the top. And I think we'll grunge this up by distressing it a little bit, just in case somebody looks at the back of it. It'll look nice and messed up. Just a little bit of an accent, nothing too elaborate. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now the other thing I feel like needs to happen is we need to add something around this edge, so that's, I'm not seeing this white, so I'm just gonna distress that up with my ink. Again, this is a grungy project, so I'm not too concerned, but you know, where I can affect that, I want to. Oh my gosh, she's so adorable. So adorable, oh my goodness. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this on. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. We didn't get enough distressing on this bottom section though. It's a little bit too clean and a little bit too, you know, fresh. So let's do some distressing there. You just kind of bend your paper like that, and then you can make a crease and get a little bit of that vintage. Oh, that looks a lot better. You know, I mean, it could, again, you could glue it down, but I wanted it to be a removable closure, so that's what we're doing. Following through. Okay, we're going to put that down like so. That's perfect. It looks amazing. Just a little bit of interest on the back. Okay, so let's just give that a second to set. So again, guys, everything will be linked in the, everything that you need to find, all the collaborators, the kits will all be in the link tree, and that will be linked down below. Probably have a lot of photos for this project, so you'll want to hop on over to my blog to be able to see all of them. I have, when I schedule my social media posts, I do Facebook and Instagram at the same time, and you can only have 10 photos. So I often take way more than that. So if you want to see more photos, you can hop on over to my blog and check those out. So that is beautiful. Okay, so I'm an impatient crafter, so we're going to continue on. So the goal here is I need something to hold this closed, right? Obviously. So let's bring this back around. And you know what? It might have to be glued down. I don't know how this is going to work. So this seam binding is going to wrap around there, okay? And then it's going to tie on this. Oh, you know what? That's going to be fine. Okay, so it's going to tie right here. It looks like I've got plenty of seam binding. Sorry, I was trying to think. I need to hold this while I'm working, so what can I do? What can I do? Let me see if one of my big clips will work. Oh, I forgot to tell you how I did the cover. So what I did is I just used craft paint. I used the raw umber, and I just used regular craft crackle, you know, the kind where you put a base layer, which I believe my base was the blue, and then you let that dry, and then you put a layer of this Deco Art crackle medium, which is just a craft crackle, and then you let that dry mostly. It needs to still be a little bit tacky, and then you put your second color on top, which is the brown, and then you let that dry, and it automatically cracks like this. I think I'm going to do the Winter Journal #2 cover using that crackle medium. So I'm going to try this and see. Oh, it's not wide enough. Doggone it. I don't even have, oh, I have a rubber band in my hair. Pardon me. You know what? Where there's a will, there is a way. So we're going to put that on there. See if I can hold this together a little bit better. So, is it going to work? Ah, yes! Okay, I just need it to be secure, right? So I'm just going to slide that up so I don't get in the way of what I'm doing. I just need it tightly closed so that I can tie it. Okay, there we go. So we can put this back in place. And oh yeah, and our strings are coming out the bottom, so I know I'm going the right direction. And then that's upside down now, so we're going to put that on right there. Okay, and again, we're wrapping it around the back, the side and the back, the large spine, and coming back around here. Okay, and I'm just going to tie a really pretty big bow. So I would not be able to do that if I did not secure that with my hair tie. Full disclosure, I have not even had a shower today. I got home from the coast with my sisters yesterday, and it had a little bit of a medical issue that I had to tend to, and so I am taking it easy and slow today. And yeah, before my husband comes home, I probably need to get myself smelling fresh and not looking like I rolled out of bed. So still have a couple hours till that happens though. Okay, here we go. Just gonna shorten those bows a little bit. Okay, there we go. There she is. I'll probably even put a dangle on one of those because it's so adorable. Like, it's so adorable. I'm gonna leave it kind of long like that. Just about cut my finger off. Okay, I'm gonna take that hair tie off. And I'm going to kind of, it's a little bit off-centered, so we can adjust that so I can kind of, oh no, we've got a, I'll deal with that before I take the picture. See how that, we've got an edge showing from the backing that we put on. I don't like that, so I will fix it. But this can be fudged over like that, okay? So see how I just kind of moved it? It slid, so that's perfect. But look at that beauty. So that is our tiny, tiny miniature removable journal cover on our miniature little lap book. So that is it, my friends. Again, all the links to everything that you need to know is down below in the description box. Don't forget to go to every video. You need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on every video in order to qualify. My understanding, again, is that the prize list is long. There's going to be prizes galore. So I hope you guys will follow through and check it out because it's just going to be fantastic. So I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.